Fidel Castro's epic 1960 end speech, the marathon rant that shocked the world. In September 1960, Fidel Castro, Cuba's revolutionary leader, delivered one of the longest and most controversial speeches in United Nations (UN) history. Lasting 4 hours and 29 minutes, his fiery address at the UN General Assembly in New York was a scathing attack on the United States, imperialism, and capitalism. But Castro's UN trip itself was just as wild, filled with hotel evictions, Harlem hospitality, and Cold War tensions. When Castro arrived in New York for the UN summit, tensions were already high. The US and Cuba were on bad terms after Castro's 1959 revolution, which overthrew the US-backed dictator Fulgencio Batista. Things escalated quickly. Castro and his delegation were originally booked at the Shelburne Hotel, but after a dispute over a $10,000 security deposit, they were kicked out. Furious, Castro threatened to sleep in Central Park if needed. Instead, he moved to the Hotel Teresa in Harlem, where he was warmly welcomed by the black community and even met with Malcolm X. This move humiliated the U.S. government. Castro was now a guest of the oppressed black population while openly criticizing U.S. racism. The speech that shook the world. On September 26, 1960, Castro took the UN stage and unleashed one of the most epic, longest, and most brutal speeches in history. He mocked U.S. leaders, calling them liars and hypocrites for meddling in Latin America. He accused the U.S. of exploiting poorer nations and treating Cuba like a plantation. He accused U.S. journalists of spreading propaganda. He joked that the CIA was probably spying on him, even at the UN. Castro becomes a global icon. The U.S. was outraged, seeing Castro as a direct threat to its influence in Latin America. The Soviet Union applauded him, deepening the Cold War divide. Castro became a hero among anti-imperialists and Third World nations, inspiring future revolutionary movements. A year later, the U.S. attempted to overthrow him in the Bay of Pigs invasion, 1961, which failed disastrously. Even today, Castro's 1960 United Nations speech is remembered as a bold act of defiance against U.S. dominance. It cemented his reputation as a master orator and global revolutionary leader.